Howdy, boys and girls. We have a cool video today, actually. Um, you'll notice that this looks a little different. It almost looks zoomed in, but it's not. We have big freaking spheres, and that's gonna really show off the main feature of this video. I'm really happy with what's happening here, and I'll explain it as we get closer. One little note is, and I just dug out a couple areas already. So when you spawn now, you're literally just spawning in a little safe zone. I don't know if this will change or not. This is the center of the world. You spawn in a safe zone, and you can easily just dig your way out of it. That might change. So the system for let's see, reload. It wasn't really apparent, but now I don't have to press R to reload, it'll just do it. So you'll notice that this is at 10, and if I switch to this weapon, it goes to 10. 10. So what's happening is it will automatically adjust the, let's see, there's probably an easier way to show this, yeah. So it will automatically adjust the energy consumption at a certain point. So I think once it hits 70, or let's see, maybe it's 60. Yeah, I think it's 60. There, you see it slow down. So once it hits 60 energy, then it moves to, it switches down to the middle mode, 5, and I won't spend a bunch of time, but once you get down to like 30%, it'll switch down to 2, and you can no longer manually change it. I don't know if I'm going to have it just stay automatically like this, and then I don't need to have a selector here. I can just have a little interface element that shows it, or if you can toggle the energy usage. So it'll prolong the energy, but if you have a bunch of energy, it'll use whatever, you get it. So let's check out our spheres. I'm pretty excited. And oh yeah, so the world gen, I have it so it, by the way, I'll make myself move fast and invincible for the remainder of this. Alright, let's check out these spheres. They've changed a little bit. They now can generate their own geometry, so it's pretty nice feature. There's still, let's see, depending on which one this is, oh no, I don't think it locks you in here anymore. It turns red, but it doesn't lock you in. And it doesn't spawn new enemies. At least this one doesn't. There's two possible spheres that can spawn now. So we'll find the other one just to show it. It's a little bit different, but let's see. Actually, to get the full effect of this, no, whatever. We'll just do this. You dig to the center. And hopefully this one looks cool. All right, we get into the center. We should be near the center. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, I know what we're in. Okay. Alright, y'all ready? We are in a freaking pyramid, dude. We're in freaking Egypt, dude. Alright, and everything's loading. And obviously, this is the center of the sphere. And it's still loading, generating. That sound is when something spawns. So let me change here. Oh yeah, so we have spawners now. So, okay, let's change back to our powerful. 1 sec, just gotta kill all these enemies. Jeez. What's up, dude? Yeah, I'm invincible, dude. Alright. There we go. Is there still... oh, they just... oh, I think when it dies... no. It's just when it takes a hit, it will randomly spawn to the spawner. I'll explain those spawning mechanics a little later. So what we have here is... it looks pretty, by the way. It looks real pretty. It's just... alright, what's up, dude? Shut up. Where are you? Where are you, dude? What's up, dude? What's up, dude? Fight me, dude. There it is, dude. There it is. Oh, he's mad. Alright, alright. Oh, there's another spawner. Okay, see that shield? See I'm doing 3 damage? And once the shield's off, I'm doing 9 damage. Alright, that's That's what was needed to explain. And I'm only doing half damage now. So okay, we're gonna go through a little bit of combat. This is the phase where I'm starting to run out of energy, or about half energy, at least for the selected energy type. So, what's up, dude? I thought I killed the bird. Alright, come on. Reloaded. Combat is still gonna change. Where, dude? Alright, it'll just be there, since it doesn't want to fight. Oh, by the way, this room is symmetric, and yeah, it's pretty beautiful. That's the same as that, and that's the same as that. And furthermore, oh yeah, we got this. So now we can pretend like we're in Egypt. That's where we dug through. Okay, so another cool. Let's see. Let's go straight up. Straight up. Come on. Generate. Okay. So this is kind of a cool area because the way it's okay, I gotta kill these. So these were the turrets, right? Those will spawn the first time a chunk is generated. And now instead of just turrets, spawners will spawn. And as you saw, they sometimes have shields that they turn on, especially when you're shooting them. Oh, like here's a spawner. And when you're shooting them, they have more of a chance to spawn. So these are all part of the mechanic to make the map not necessarily safe while you're going through it. I'm invincible, so I can just ignore these. Alright. So, oh, and it's hard to tell, but this is also symmetric. Dun 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 dun. Oh, yeah. Doesn't matter though. But yeah, this shows the sphere generator. So we're in this sphere, and it's pretty neat. Pretty neat. It's if I turn this thing off, which I can, or just disable encode, then you have a dome. Well, it basically carves out. It's pretty obvious. The outside of the sphere is a normal world gen. Inside the sphere is a specific generator, which which generated what we showed you. Let's find a bigger sphere. Let's see. Let's go to that one right there. I don't know why, but this geometry breaking, sometimes it lags. I don't know. Maybe no, now it's fine. So maybe the whole game is just, I don't know. I'll have to look into that. I bet it's something. Yeah, see, like this is too slow. Something's going on. I think the frame rate is messing up. So I'll have to figure out what's causing that. I need this fly there. Okay. And do we have an exit? And I did try to optimize. I hope it's not the number of spheres, because I did try to optimize the way the spheres generate, so it should be optimized, is what I'm saying. Hang on. Can I fly out of here? Sub generator. Alright. No, this is okay. Let's just go to this big sphere. Hello, big sphere. Alright, this is the other one. This is the old thing that'll lock you in and still generate enemies. So I'm locked in. Just generating, spawning enemies. It'll spawn a bunch. I basically made it so it's kind of hard to see. I should have lowered the density. You think that this is 10%. 10% of the space is filled with these stupid blocks, and you wouldn't think this is 10%. It doesn't feel like 10%, but it's kind of chaotic. Let's see. Which mode? Okay, now I'm on the normal mode. What's up, dude? Alright. Let's clear a nice path. It honestly looks cooler when it's not filled with all this stuff, so. Okay. I don't have the energy. I'm low on energy. So, actually, here, watch this. Watch this. Alright, we're gonna exit the program real quick. And you can't see me, but I'm doing a quick little edit here. Just hold 1 second. Just hold 1 second, please. Okay, and we'll make it okay, instead of 10%, it'll be 2.5%, right? Yeah. So if I rerun it, we'll be in the same place, so some of the stuff will already be generated. Hold up. Here it goes. All right. So some of it's already generated. And if we go to a new area, it will be less dense there, 25%. So, or 2.5%. Hey, what's up, dude? Yeah, dude. I love these guys, dude. I love them. I don't like the bird thing necessarily. I like that they're birds, and I like that they say, what's up, dude? But I don't necessarily like that there's the combo of that, nor the current bird model, so that may change. Alright, let's just camp out here for a sec. But it's really cool with these sphere zones. Oh, whatever. Okay, instead of just babbling, let me get through the ideas, and then let me talk about my feelings about these sphere zones, because I'm actually really happy with what this allows. Let me get out of here so I don't get spammed by enemies. Dun 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 dun. Alright, and we are outie. And so, let's see, I don't think they'll spawn when I'm out of it. So, okay, so that was that size sphere. It's pretty big. Things still can spawn. Oh, I guess. Oh, there's a spawner right there, so duh. And yeah, so you can kind of get a sense of the scale. These spheres can literally be any size, and I just have a there's a min and max size, and it just chooses one between them for now. But in the end, you could literally have a sphere that spawns miles of a map, and it's pretty awesome, because that means I can use those spheres. At first we were like, okay, you can have different types of gameplay in these spheres, and that's a good idea, perhaps. But now the whole terrain generator can change to that. And actually, we're going to go into this one, because I'll show you a bigger sphere with this style of generator. It looks pretty sweet. You can't see the whole room at once because of the draw distance, but let's see, where's the center? All right, we're going towards the center. You can't see the whole room at once, but you can see enough of it. Let's see. All right, so once there's empty areas, come on, what's going on here? I don't want to be falling. You can't really tell. Oh wait, okay, we're in something, and we're not close to. All right, let me change the mode. I think the generator here is slower, so it takes a little longer. But it's okay, because in these spaces, it's fine if it's slow. At least slower than the overworld. Alright, let's deal with these little craps. These are way easier to deal with than the stupid spawners. So now we have a big ass. Well, first that's bigger because the sphere is bigger, and then we have a huge freaking pyramid. So that's kind of cool. And let me just take off the movement mode so we really get. I don't know which one it is. Let's see. Did we take off the movement? No, we left. Okay, so now we have the movement and invincible off. So now we're vulnerable, guys. And this is still symmetrical, but obviously bigger. Let me get to the center so we can see some nice symmetrical artwork once it all loads. Yeah, so without, it's nice that I turn that off so you can actually get a feel of the scale of this, and that, hey, now moving through the map is not just a quick, easy thing, etc., etc. So, all right, it's pretty cool, pretty dope. Dun 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 dun! So cinematic. And I was actually thinking, I'll allow my nerd self to shine through a little bit. The latest episode of Dragon Ball, yeah, that's right, had some pretty awesome. What the? Can I not jump up here? What's going on? What the heck? All right. had some pretty. Let me just turn on this floaty mode just to make it easier. Had some pretty awesome visuals. And I'm like, what if I had a character that was like powering up at the top of this thing, like right here, and then I could start doing cinematic stuff, cinematic shit. But and that's actually something I might mess with at some point, but not just yet. But there's real potential for that. And yeah, like with this sphere stuff, and this is kind of annoying, so I'll change it. I could have it put like an entity right here that can be a character, something you interact with, and well, that was the plan originally, but now it makes a lot more sense with the generator. It's like you know where the middle is and you know where to find it. And this generator was pretty quick to make, so expect some cool stuff once I really get going on this. Anyways, so yeah, these spheres are now they really help define the map. There's still an issue of whatever. I don't need to talk about the tech stuff. But still more fixes before it actually is foolproof. Because right now a sphere can. Oh, I died. So I'm back at spawn and I'm flying. Why am I up here? Okay, that's strange. Anyways, so now we're back here. And see, which way did we go? We went that way. So yeah, it's starting to shape up a little bit into a game. So yeah, cool stuff can now happen with these spheres, with the generator types, and yeah, it's gonna be pretty sweet. And I'm really, let's see, so yeah, this stuff looks like caves underground, and I kind of wanted the center. Okay, so now that's most of what we've been working on so far. Let's talk about what I'm thinking of. Basically, I really put a lot of thought into the how the early and mid game are gonna work, and I realized that a lot of the basic stuff, mining, and I'm gonna get to that very soon, mining and material types and all this stuff, and just carving out a base in an area like I talked about last episode. These things are important, and I was in some way neglecting them. Now it's time to not neglect them and really make sense of what we're doing. Oh yeah, and oh shit. Okay, it should be pushing me. Oh yeah, it's pushing me a little bit. There. Hello. Okay, stop being red. All right. So we gotta. Okay, we're gonna have to deal with these if I don't leave. What's up, dude? Yeah, but obviously there's a lot of room for funny content. I think most of the funny content will be in like allied or neutral mobs. Hello, frame rate. Allied and neutral mobs. So what you're killing still looks kind of like weird and slightly devious. And Jesus, shut up. And I can make this terrain a lot more open. In fact, I think the further out from spawn you go, the more open it is. So that's probably a goal. This might be, let's see. Let me put on my movement stuff again. Wait, which one was that? Alright. Where are they at? Movement and invulnerability half. Half will work. So we take half as much damage, I think. Alright. Actually, it'd be nice to fly through that sphere to get. Okay. So yeah. Woo lad, woo lad. It'd be interesting if you took damage if you collided into something too quickly. What's up, dude? What's up, dude? Come on. He's idle. He's thinking. Oh, he's mad. I thought we were taking half damage. Maybe not. Whatever. Yeah, open space. So here we go. So the idea is that in the center of the world, it's mostly kind of caves that you have to dig out. So a lot of positive space where you dig and make it negative. So you dig out stuff, and there'll be like nodes. You have to make pathways and stuff, etc., etc. And then as you go further out, you'll have a jetpack and you'll have more speed stuff. So it'll make more sense to be out here in more open areas. And by the way, the optimal algorithm for generating terrain that keeps it the fastest is either a lot of empty space or a lot of full space. So when you have a mix of everything, that increases the surface area, which is what really drags down the rendering. So I think that's it for now. So there's a lot of basic stuff I'm going to work on still, and just kind of make a nice. I'm thinking right now it needs to be mining and progression. So little rules and the right tools for mining, especially to leave the spawn area, and then progression. So you go from what early game looks like and what mid game looks like, and the different aspects of the game and how they change from there to there. And once I get that, and honestly, I should really work on that before endgame. It makes sense because endgame needs to build on that stuff. So I was thinking of these spheres. I was thinking earlier doing like more complex combat mechanics, and while that's interesting, it's really that's endgame stuff. Once you've really kind of mastered yourself in the world, then it's time to really push out into the more the real challenge of combat. So anyways, that's that. I'm just kind of giving you a lot of time to look at how this looks. This world and stuff. And obviously this is just the first pass of terrain or whatever. I don't even know if this is going to be the final algorithm, but I do like the idea. Just kind of experimenting with different things. I do like the idea of this kind of space. It doesn't change in the z-axis really. But I am thinking actually of doing something where there will be a floor. Okay, I'm in the space that. Oh yeah. Hey, let's see. I think these all look the same because they all essentially. Oh, by the way, this noise really easy once I find the middle to kind of explain it. Just a little tech aspect. Instead of using an actual noise function, what I'm doing here, and what I do with the terrain out there, is I use a couple images, and they can be the same image, just kind of scaled in different ways and overlapped in different ways, and it'll map the XYZ coordinates of the world to a point on that image, and it'll smooth out the pixels between or whatever. So that's how you get the smooth gradients. Let's see, am I in the center? Here. So you can see there's basically some images I loaded, and just using this as like the 2D representation of it, where it'd make more sense if I made it look correct. But this could literally be a height map, where an image you can make here's an island, here's a mountain, whatever. I could do that, but essentially instead of that 2D version, there's a 3D version, and you can use that in the world or in these spawn or these spheres. And since we're near the center, we'll probably drop in on the pyramid, which is pretty sweet. Pretty sweet, dude. Once we get there. Almost. Oh, there's something. There's a hole. We found a hole. Alright. There it is. Ooh. Ooh, look at that. Oh my gosh, so cinematic, dude. Wow, dude. It's like a pyramid, dude. Wow, dude. So sweet, so beautiful, dude. Egyptian. Let's change the FOV to get more cinematic. Yeah, I had this feature on for a while. I didn't really mess with it. So, and these are all just kind of like test textures, and I'm basically just using just kind of going through the whole list of textures I have. There's no sense of order here, and a lot of these textures I won't actually use in the end. They're just kind of see. I actually let me tell you. So there's one group of textures that I actually really like, and I think I'll kind of experiment with that style a bit more. Let me find where they at. Those. So those. Just dig there. Yeah. So these colors. It just really when there's a nice edge on it in a single color, then it just kind of doesn't detract. It doesn't add more complexity to what you're seeing. It's easier to take in and it just fits the voxel world pretty nicely. So I think, you know, I think something like this, maybe with more, neutral tones. Oh, and by the way, I know that I say a lot. All right, I looked when I watched my last video, uh, I, I I was like, holy crap, I counted. And I think I say that instead of So, and I think I only do that when I'm talking about technical stuff. It's whatever. I'm just saying, I don't really care because these are informal videos, but just a little thing I noticed. So now you can pay attention to that and you can count them up if you want. Probably not a worthwhile endeavor, but yeah. And so yeah, I like this. And now it really feels like this. I need to have a zoom on this. It really feels like this is a unique part of the world, even though this spawn is similar to other spawns. And obviously, it's going to be really easy to make 20 different algorithms that are just different versions of each other that change out the textures and stuff. So they actually look unique and behave differently. And so you have all these unique feeling places in the world, and this was kind of hard to do. It's really controlled because you have this space to work in, and there's a center, and it's really hard to do when you're just out in the world and you have an empty vastness. Like how do you control something like that? So really, these spheres that I made were a great idea, even though I only had the first part of it. I don't even need to necessarily do too much with the spawning and the um, just like changing the movement mode or whatever, like changing the game too much in the spheres. Though there's the potential to do that. I think what I'll have is some of them will simply be like it'll be like this game's version of a dungeon, where some of them look really menacing, and you'll be able to tell how big it is. And actually, yeah, I think that's the direction this will go. A dungeon, and then when you get to the middle, the center, so it's not going to be like rooms that you have to go through a path. It's literally just going to be fighting your way to the center, and you probably won't have to dig as much. But it might have an outer shell that you have to break into. So, so fighting your way to the center, and then at the center there'll be a boss, and hopefully just a room in the center. That'll probably be the only room. And you fight the boss in there somehow, and once you beat it, then you unlock the node. You have rewards and whatever. So I really like this idea. It really, this really gives a sense of space. And not only that, but I used to earlier today I had the world terrain turned off, so you could see. Hang on, let me just push out. Hey yo. All right. Come on, come on, come on. I think it might also be taking a while to generate because it's using so many textures, and it has to create a piece of geometry for each texture. So internally, having all this variety is probably the slowest, but no big deal. Yeah, so I'm pretty stoked for the changes that this, or the potential of what we're doing here, and what we already have and what we're already showing. So yeah, you get to see. Let me turn this on so I can fly a little. So imagine if this wasn't here and this was literally just space, and we can fly through these two. Except we have our train. So if this is empty, now you literally have little planetoids on your map, and we have another one coming up here somewhere. It's hard to tell up or down, I think. If you move up, there we go. So yeah, we have like a real big one there, a real big one over here, and this little thing right here, and we'll just, oh yeah, because this was actually the original spawn I had, but I changed it up. So the spawn had a Z height limit, but we obviously don't need that anymore. Come on. Come on, buddy. Ooh, yeah, it looks good. And this it's so simple to make like a pyramid. So just, when I can't really do too much with the generator content until I have the materials kind of locked down in a standard. And so that's probably the next idea, or the next direction to go. And that'll also determine mining and stuff. But of course, so when we have a standard, then we can actually do content that we know will last, because I do like this blue material. So they're so basically the simplest stuff is honestly the best. When we have all this like that texture, and that texture, it just looks too chaotic, and it doesn't really mesh well. So the simple stuff like that, and maybe a bit of, it's hard to tell, that, those will be the primary texture style, I think, and it'll look good. And then we can do like much cooler stuff where we incorporate. It's super easy to do geometrical shapes from the center, and even outward. I can do like you know 4 spheres surrounding it. I can do a cube, sphere, cylinder. Any weird anything, like anything. I can have a pyramid that is more like a sine function or whatever. There's tons of stuff here. And I'm thinking that you could maybe even make one of these your base if you want to, like, take it over and set it to your base, so you can build things and customize it, and that'd be pretty sweet. So yeah, I'm really happy with this. This was the original spawn, but it didn't make sense to spawn in a developed, open, fancy area. It just, we want to start off with like a bare bones idea, and then you find these cool places in the world. So, and as far as, I also had the idea, like, okay, combat. I started off with the idea that combat needed to be very controlled and very detailed, and there's still room to explore there. But I realized that the heart of this game has to be the sort of semi-sandboxy, voxel game where it's digging and it's building and it's exploring, and combat really just needs to accommodate that rather than the other way around. So that's the new theory or philosophy to all of this. And again, I'm using my fly. Let me take off my stuff so I'm vulnerable now. Let's see if I can survive. Wait, go to normal mode. Okay. So yeah, we're taking damage. Remember, there's a. Oh, get the hell out of here. I'm dying, dude. Okay, these things. All of these are from a spawner, by the way. So if I killed the spawner early, I wouldn't have to deal with all these. And here's the thing. See that I'm slow enough now. I'm slow enough that I probably won't outrun them, or even if I go all the way over here, those chunks are not going to unload. So because this is an enclosed room, and I can really enforce this idea of it being enclosed and not able to easily run away from. Okay, I'm going to die. But I think it's appropriate to die, unless I run. Here. What's up, dude? I need to add more stuff next time, or at least at some point we're gonna have some pretty awesome mobs. What's up, dude? Come on. Oh, they're not smart in finding me. I have to like peek out. What's up, dude? Over here, dude. So yeah, it's starting to feel like just messing around with the generators and then connecting them to this was a really good idea. I just kind of did it randomly because it sounded like it might be a good idea, but it really is going to change the it's really going to enhance the design of the game, especially mid to late game. But yeah, so let me dig down so I can get away from all these noises, and let me equip an invincibility thing if I have it. Though I've dug, I don't have any way to delete the mess in my inventory. Come on, where is it? Let's do half in. Okay. So almost done with the video, I promise. But this stuff it's nice to talk about when we have some cool new stuff like this. So yeah, I'll be focusing on the early game. So and just the machines that you can. Oh yeah, flat space. And the machines you can build, and I'm in another combat area. And yeah, just the early game, just to kind of really get things moving from there, and then I will build upon that. And all this stuff is like kind of mid to late game, but it's here, and it'll evolve still. And I died, but I guess that's appropriate. So, all right, so that's that. Now we're back in the safe area. What a contrast. So yeah, like this is now already starting to feel like a game. Um, Now obviously we need a nice path of progression. We need things you can do, but it's looking good. So with all the rambling out of the way, yeah, I'm kind of like just look redoing some of these things that I've ignored for a while. The generators and a couple quick ideas to change the way generation works, etc. So just doing that really adds to the potential of the game and keeps me motivated. So it's good that I did this instead of just focusing on combat for 2 more weeks, because this is the right way to go. This is where it's starting to feel like a game, and combat is still fun. I'm really happy we made the progress, and I'm liking. It shows that with more work in it, it'll actually be solid. Not necessarily solid enough to define the game. I think the definition of the game is really going to be the world and how you interact with it. But combat itself will hopefully be fun, and it's not bad right now. It's just something to worry about, but it's not. You know, there'll be a time when I'm done enough with the world, and when the thing that is lacking is combat, and then I'll spend a good amount of time going over that, making new weapons, enemies, and tweaking everything, and then I think that'll be when we really start to see what potential there is with combat and in finding. It's not about having all this fancy, flashy stuff. It's really about just finding the right balance, the right pace and tone of combat that fits the game. So, all right, guys, enough babbling. We'll see you next time. And I like doing these vids when I actually have something to show, because the progression here is it's nice to see. So I'm out. Peace.